I think there is one specific trait that is the most important to become a senior engineer. Let me tell you what it is. These are some of the popular discussions about what it takes to become a senior engineer. And the demand for senior software engineers is only going to increase. Just for the context, I'm Ravi, a senior software engineer at Hopper with 10 years of experience at various companies. In this video, I'm not going to just talk about the why, I'm going to give you the how. I will share 6 tips to help you progress from junior to a senior engineer. And here's the best part. I have got one absolute game changer tip at the end that will set you apart from other senior engineers. So stick around to find out what it is. Before we dive into tips, let's talk about the journey. There are 4 key stages: junior, mid-level, senior, and lead developer. Junior developers are just starting out, usually with a couple of years of experience. They know a few coding languages and have basic skills with building tools in their field. Mid-level developers have 3 to 5 years of experience. They work on different parts of a project, from front-end, what users see, to back-end, the core logic, and may use tools to build and deliver software faster. Senior developers have over 5 years of experience. They are experts in multiple coding languages, and they can communicate clearly, plan projects well, and excel at software design. Lead developers are like senior developers, but they can also manage teams, ensure projects align with the business goals, and they master every aspect of building software. Remember, these stages are guides, and the progression can vary across companies. The key difference is in how you approach coding. Juniors generally focus on getting things to work, while seniors aim for robust, scale, and well-designed software. Now, without any delay, let's get into the tips. Tip number 1. Write code that's easy to understand. Legendary programmer Martin Fowler said, "Any fool can write code that a computer can understand. Good programmers write code that humans can understand." This quote perfectly highlights why clear, understandable code is essential. Even new developers can write code that makes sense, but there is a lot more to it. To write code that's really clear and easy to understand, you need to learn some key principles and best practices. And one of them is decoupling. This means breaking down your code into smaller, modular components that are loosely connected. By decoupling your code, you reduce dependencies between different parts of your program, making it easier to understand and modify it later. Another important thing to follow here is single responsibility principle. This means that each function or module should do just one thing without any dependency with other tasks. This makes the code easier to read and understand, and it also helps with scalability since each piece of the code can be worked on separately without affecting the rest. Overall, make sure you are adhering to the solid principles, which makes your code easy to test as well. Let me know in the comment section if you guys want me to make a separate video on solid principles alone. By prioritizing clear, understandable code and incorporating practices like decoupling, commenting out the code, and following the single responsibility principle, you are not just making the life easier for yourself, you are also setting your code base up for scalability and maintainability as it grows. Tip number 2. Learning mindset. A big mistake some developers make is thinking they need to know everything before they even start. But you will never know it all in software development. It's a field where learning never stops, and it involves much more than just writing code. You need to understand the technologies and libraries that you use, the best data structures for different tasks, design principles that help you write cleaner code, and how to test, deploy your code, how to work with a team and other stakeholders. And that's just the beginning. Technology is always evolving, so there is always something new to learn. If you want to become a top-notch software developer, embrace learning and don't be afraid of a change. The more you learn, the greater your impact will be over time. Tip number 3. Think beyond the code. Sometimes you need to take a step back and look at a bigger picture. Junior developers often focus on their specific tasks without considering how it fits into a broader system, whereas senior developers are known for having a bird's eye view. This means they think through the side effects of their work and how it impacts the overall system. You can develop this broader perspective by regularly asking yourself a key questions. Is what I'm doing consistent with the rest of the code base? Can this code be used somewhere else? Will it be easy to maintain or expand later? As developers, it's common to think from a technical standpoint, but try to view your work from the user's perspective too. Something like, how does your new feature impact the overall user's flow? Does the steps make sense? Are there ways to make things easier for the user? Taking time to consider these questions can greatly improve the quality of your code and reduce the risk of future bugs or the issues. Additionally, it's crucial to understand why you are building something in the first place. We always tend to focus on adding the next feature or improving the software, but if you don't understand what your customer actually needs, you might be building something that they don't want. By adopting this broader view and considering both technical and from the customer perspective, you can build software that's more robust, user-friendly, and aligned with actual needs. It might require a little extra thought and effort, but in the long run, it leads to a better outcome and fewer headaches. Number 4. Be a decision maker. Being able to make decisions is like a crucial skill. It might seem straightforward, but many people find it hard to do it, especially when it matters the most. Sure, you might not always make the perfect choice, but taking some decisions is better than doing nothing. Take a lunch break, for example. When nobody can decide where to eat, be the one who suggests. Let's go to that new Indian place. People will follow you if you take the lead. This skill is useful at work too. When things go wrong and everyone is stuck, they will turn to you because you are the one who makes decisions. To make decisions, focus on giving options and not excuses. As a developer, you might face problems that need quick decisions. If your project manager asks your input and you say, I don't know, what do you think? That won't inspire confidence. Instead, offer a solution or at least a direction. Even if it's just recommending that someone else should decide because he might be a subject matter expert. It's okay if you are not always sure. Taking action even with some uncertainty is often better than doing nothing. So be the person who steps up when it's time to make a call. It's a skill that will help you grow in your career. 5. Increase your scope. Don't be afraid to ask for more. Whether it's coding tasks, new features, writing technical specs, doing spikes, or even setting up design review meetings. You want to be known as a person who takes initiative. Being a go-to person means you're not just waiting for someone to hand you tasks. Instead, you proactively seek opportunities to contribute. By doing this, you are not only expanding your skills, but also showing that you are a team player. This kind of attitude makes you valuable to your team and your organization. Beyond taking on more work, focus on becoming easy to work with. This means communicating clearly, meeting deadlines, and helping others when they need it the most. When you are approachable and helpful, people will naturally want to collaborate with you. Plus, it makes it easier to take on more responsibilities because people trust you to get the job done. So if you want to increase your scope, start by looking for areas where you can add value. It could be offering, something like to mentor junior developers, or helping with the code reviews, or even stepping in when someone is out. The more you step up, the more you will learn, and the more you will be seen as a leader in your team. Tip number 6, multiplier effect. This is one of the most important factors that can elevate your career to a senior engineering role and help you stand out from your peers. But what exactly is multiplier effect? It's when your actions not only benefit yourself but also have a positive impact on those around you. For example, it is the difference between writing code that works for your project versus writing code that can be reused by the entire team. Another example is giving tech talks to your team or organization. This allows you to share your knowledge and help others grow. Multiplier effect also includes mentoring junior developers, contributing to open source projects, or creating internal tools that makes everyone work easier. These actions don't just help you do your job, they elevate the entire team, creating a ripple effect of productivity and improvement. By focusing on multiplier effect, you are not just developing your own technical skills, you are also showing leadership and improving collaboration and also contributing to a positive team culture. This is the kind of impact that sets senior engineers apart from the rest. Remember, the journey to a senior engineer is not about reaching a specific title. It's about continuous improvement in your skills, mindset, and impact. So keep learning, keep pushing yourself, and keep striving to make positive difference. That's the true path to becoming a valuable senior engineer.